glory hole, plot holes, and a literal ice hole. We saw the Snowman, so you know what that means.
Schwarzenegger grow a baby in his belly, rock a rhinestone vest while ripping Justin to Kelly, or maybe see a burlesque show with Nick Crow and take a boat with speed to hitting cruise control. J-Man, Big Paul in the beautiful June, gonna take you from the goob all the way to the room. Ran the games of Street Fighter, helped to blow off steam, just a sucker punch the odd life of Timothy Green. Sharknado to Birdemic, how we staying alive. They call it in the badass and he's on the line, cranking 88 minutes cause they cool as ice, cause a bad Jim Varney looking kinda nice. Paul and June getting literal, Jason is getting laid. June is making sure all the monkey shots getting paid. They judge a bunch of movies while they're making the grade. Here's a real question for you, how did this get made?
Hello, people of Earth! And hello, people of Los Angeles!
What's that?
We are live at Largo, our favorite place to perform, our LA home, one of Jason Statham's favorite places in the city, for a night to talk about a movie known as The Snowman. It came and went faster than a literal snowman in the theaters, and we're gonna get to why. This movie, I think the most beneficial thing about it for me, or the best part about this movie, was the fact it was on HBO Go and I didn't have to pay for it. And my library of shitty films, happy not to have that one plunk just sitting there. To talk about this movie tonight, we have an amazing guest, because tonight is a How Did This Get Made all-star show. We're doing a little bit of a podcast crossover. You'll learn about that in just a second. But first, let me introduce my co-host, Mr. Jason Mantzoukas! Jason.
What's up, jerks? Somebody's got a Fundant Balls sign. This is, I believe, one of the first times that someone has made a sign for the show.
Would like to see more of those.
We would love more homemade signs, are words that I will regret later.
And what I like about the homemade signs is not only are they fun for us, but they play great for the people listening to the podcast.
It's an audio medium.
Jason.
Paul.
I know you're a big Joe Nesbo fan, the author of The Snowman.
I'm a Nesbo head from back in the day.
You've read all the Harry Hole books.
Oh, are you kidding? We call it having been made whole.
Is he the Norwegian?
We call it a hole in one.
Is he the Norwegian Jack Reacher? Yes, he is. First thoughts, Jason, right out of the gate.
This is... This was a challenge. This was tough stuff because wow. I don't know what this was.
Yes.
I'm told backstage it's a movie.
Yes.
I was confounded by every single choice. They were at like 3/4 into the movie. I wrote in my notes, does this movie take place in Norway?
Jason.
None of these people, Chloe Sevigny is there twice. What? Where are we? These are not Norwegians. What's happening? I was confused.
Some people chose to do an accent, others did not.
Some people were fully ADR'd. I'm looking at you, Val Kilmer. What was that? You can't... I genuinely thought it was like a Norwegian actor.
Yes.
Because it was a different voice. And then I was like, that's Val Kilmer. But it was like... I guess we'll go to the
What? It sounded like a less muffled Bane. We'll break it all
have
down.
so much. J.K. Simmons? What's going on? This movie. This was exciting.
On the surface.
This was exciting to watch.
On the surface, this movie presents like this is going to be the next Silence of the Lambs. I mean, there's no doubt.
We fucking
about
did it. We fucking did it. Nesbo. We got Nesbo. We're basing it on Nesbo.
Scorsese produced. Martin Scorsese, supposed to direct, dropped out. Smartest one in this entire process. We'll get into it.
The best performance in this movie is done by a snowman.
Is it the two-sided snowman? Because I thought that snowman had range.
That snowman was great. That snowman, we loved that snowman in Jack Frost. Same snowman. The guy gets those parts. He nails them.
Hire snowmen to do snowmen roles. All right.
This is a movie in which Michael Fassbender is the worst detective in history. This movie is a triumph of the villain, but for his inability to notice where to step on the ice. Had he not misstepped, he would have won.
Spoilers.
He killed everybody. Matthias wins.
No. No spoilers. I couldn't be more excited tonight to introduce our guests. And they are from a hilarious show, another podcast, that they're just great. They're fantastic. Please welcome the hosts of Throwing Shade, Erin Gibson and Bryan Safi. Give it up for them.
Turd on my television.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I feel like this is a classic Inspector Gadget Penny situation.
How so?
Him fumbling his way with his metal arms through something very serious and a woman on his side doing all the legwork.
Who was also an idiot. Everyone in this movie. I was truly baffled, stupefied, dumbfounded.
Are morons.
Morons. He is the worst detective who has ever
failed.
And this is the fucking guy who did Let the Right One In.
Yes.
Who did fucking Tinker Tailor Seamstress Spy.
Oh,
he did all
Seamstress
hooker waiter. He did Tinker Tailor Seamstress waiter.
Did you just introduce
Butler
a seamstress into one of the great spy stories of our time?
If you haven't seen Tinker Tailor Seamstress hooker, you're doing it.
It was a Cinemax movie. It was a John Le Carre book, not the one that people like.
Yeah. This was, it was baffling. It really was baffling.
Great. Here's the one thing I know about this movie that gives you a little bit of insight into why we are absolutely confounded by this. They have gone on record as saying, the director has gone on record as saying, because of something, he was unable to shoot 15% of the script.
15 to 20.
15 to 20% of the script remained unshot.
Now,
and said it so casually as if he were like sub salad for fries.
Yeah.
Was straight up like, oh, I just didn't shoot like a fifth of it.
Here's the thing.
By the way,
we did a big oops on this one.
But
would it have helped?
Well, here's the thing. They did go back for reshoots. So, in that world, you missed 20%. You went back and got reshoots, but you didn't attempt to get any of that in there.
I don't know what this movie was about. I don't know who this movie was about.
I thought what they did really well was make Val Kilmer look just like Kurt Russell.
Yes.
It's true.
Agree.
He really was.
Sound like someone else entirely. Never before have I found coffee beans so terrifying.
All right. That opening scene, the coffee bean torture scene. What I loved about that scene was
torture scene.
The best part of waking up is coffee bean torture scene. is not that he was whipping those coffee beans at that woman's face. But when the camera panned on the ground, there were so many on the ground. Like, how many questions did he get wrong? Like, maybe 70?
The movie starts with a question about Norwegian parliament.
Yes. None of these people appear to be Norwegian.
None.
All right. I have a lot of facts about this movie. I will tell you one, which is they made
Is the movie
a movie
completely funded by Volvo? That's a question I have. Is this a Volvo production?
Here are a couple of things that I'll just drop out to know. So this movie was made in Norway because of a big tax credit in Norway. Okay. So they apparently had very little time to prepare. They were in London, and someone said, "You're going to make this movie." And the director's like, "What?" And then Michael Fassbender literally wrapped Assassin's Creed, got on a plane, and landed and started shooting this movie.
Well, he should have gotten on a plane and crashed, because I have to be honest. He needs to fire everyone who works for him. I've never seen such a great actor make
one-two
terrible
punch.
choices.
That's a 1-2 punch. At that point, he should literally fire everybody who represents him and be like, how?
Yeah.
How did this happen?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm sorry, wait, no. Michael Fassbender deserves every fucking blame for saying yes to this movie.
Right.
He's not a person who's like, tell me what to do. He's like, I'll do this movie.
I have a dick!
And here's the thing, we know for sure he does.
Yeah, we know for sure he has a dick. We've seen
We
it.
did get a good underwear scene in here, though, too. It lingered on crotch area for a second longer than...
Had to be in his writer.
Right, yeah. I felt like, I was like, all right. But he...
How can we
so
make
here's
this
the
throwing medicine out sexy?
Well, here's the other biggest thing that I think just shows you the problem with the movie. So his name is Harry Hole.
Sure is.
Which...
That's a real problem.
Right. But now, this movie is based on a book, a very famous series of books that we talked about before. But the character's name is...
Smooth Hole.
Yeah. Like, the character's name is pronounced like Hole. Like,
Right.
it's not... It's... So, they Americanized it to call him Harry Hole. Like, the simplest choice... Because once you say it once on set, you'll be like, oh... You know what?
That doesn't sound right at all.
Let's play with this.
And that's where the laziness started with this movie.
Yeah.
They were like, Harry Hole, who can do it? All right, yeah, keep
Also,
it.
that
I'm
anybody,
exhausted.
like, if they had changed his name to Harry McPherson or something, there would be one person in the theater going like, his name is Harry Hole!
But by the
all
way,
the
just call him Harry Hole.
Right.
Like, you don't need this. Like, it doesn't need, like, we just say, oh,
You know,
Hole. Oh,
Or
Officer
change
Hole.
his
Like,
last name. Keep it Harry, but change it to Snatch.
Yes. Pits.
You know? Harry Snatch.
Yeah.
Like Oslo's most notorious bad boy homicide detective, Harry Snatch. Uh-oh, sleeping in children's playgrounds again. What's going on?
What is going on?
By the way,
What is this movie
Just
about?
narcoleptic murders. It was...
But also
He
what I
is
love about-
asleep
all
on the
the
ground
time.
outside of a bar? Why?
But how great were all the parents and children that didn't? By the way, they shouldn't have been playing in that ice storm. But how great that no one really reacted to him when he got out of there. It was like, oh yeah, there's a homeless guy just sleeping in that.
No,
thing.
but the children there are absolutely insane.
Well, that's
Case in
socialism,
point,
yeah.
Donkey Face. That was the most upsetting
Donkey
thing I've
Face.
ever seen in a
Really?
movie.
Oh,
and
her-
we're supposed to just buy that. She loses her parents, and they're like, leave
Just
her
her
alone
mother,
and
just
toss
her
her
mother.
a mask. Yeah.
Just her mother.
Just
her
her
father's
mother.
still in the pic.
But not in the pic where she takes a donkey mask, puts it on, makes noises, and we're supposed to pretend it's
No,
adorable.
that's-
What are you doing?
that was-
Laura?
How about the
That was
Fassbender-
Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, Fassbender comes in to be like, oh, I know how to soothe the girl whose mother was just found missing.
Yeah, do the end of Pinocchio hee-haw. Yeah.
This is a movie in which multiple times the murderer enters the scene that the person is in on the phone. The person's like, hey, what's up? Anyway, I'm just here at the house, blah, blah. The murderer enters. We, the audience, see the
Yes.
murderer, like, cross camera. And the person's like, okay, I'll talk to you later. Like, oh, no. Oh,
By the
shit,
way,
I'm murdered?
Here's why I know that book was written by a fucking man. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
As a woman,
Yeah.
I go into my house at night and I have a husband and a dog. And
Brag.
still,
Yeah.
I have a husband and a dog. I walk in my house, I fucking throw open the shower curtain. I look in every cabinet because in case this is a tiny murderer. We are on alert
Like that
at
little
all
Wayne's
times.
Brothers murderer,
Yes.
little man.
We know
You
which
never know.
shit is gonna go down.
Also, this is how terrible of detectives
Especially,
they are.
by the way, when you get hit by a random snowball. Like, she didn't do anything.
not-
She
She
didn't get
does
out-
nothing.
Bitch, I'm on the other side of the street running. That's what I
No.
do.
She gets hit by a snowball twice.
Twice!
Once in the back and once at her window.
Yeah.
She goes back to that book. You deserve to die.
You deserve to die.
You deserve to die.
Honestly, if someone...
You've been lulled into a false sense of security because you're Norwegian.
Yes. She honestly, she got hit by a snowball and was like, Oslo is the kookiest.
Yeah.
But by the
Can
way-
you imagine? I mean, no, this is American style
But-
murder.
Yes. Fuck this movie because she gets hit by a snowball, and then what does the camera do? An overhead shot of the parking lot where no one's around, which is impossible.
I would
I don't
got a
mind it
t-shirt, guys?
if it's mysterious, but then don't make it impossible. That shot negates what you just showed me.
I would
that
like
the killer
a,
is invisible.
I would like a end of Usual Suspects, end of the movie wrap up, where we see that fucking guy has been at every one of those places in order to commit
Yes.
all of these
Like the end of
murders.
Clue.
Yes.
Yes. Take
Yes,
us through
that's
each
of course
room.
the reference that everybody knows. The end of Clue.
The third
The
ending's
good
the
one,
best.
yeah.
The third ending's the best. This is how terrible of a detective. First of all, no one has blinds or curtains in their homes in this movie.
Oh yeah,
But
everything
which drove
is
me
fucking.
cra-
Everything's on full display.
Everything's on full display. Also, the first clue the detectives come up with is I noticed something. It seems like he kills whenever it snows. I'm like,
Yes,
it is
yeah.
December in Norway.
How about this?
He's
How about
killing
this?
every fucking second?
Every single crime scene has a snowman. It is never mentioned
You can get-
once. Michael Fassbender gets
He
a note with a
signs-
snowman. He
he
sees a
signs his
snowman.
letter.
There's a
His-
snowman.
his
Nobody
Zodiac-
ever says, have you noticed?
Yeah.
There's a fucking snowman
And
at
also-
every crime scene.
Also, he's like, by the way, I'm a snowman. In case you missed it, here's the drawing.
What were those the 15 pages when he turned to Rebecca Ferguson is like, is it weird? There's a snowman at every crime scene?
But by the way, I'm no snowman expert. But
Thank you, June.
to build a snowman is a very labor-intensive process.
very
Well,
hard.
you know,
Where are you getting the sticks?
I guess he's. Wait,
Well, you
I'm
build
not that worried about that part.
the snowman
The
is
sticks in the
A
coffee
clean
bean.
stick in Norway?
plus
Yeah.
coal?
Cole?
But,
A carrot nose?
You
No.
just decapitated someone in a very interesting way. I was like, okay.
Well, you know, you know how long it takes to build a snowman.
Yes.
So the length of time it takes your uncle to fuck your mom.
Okay.
By the
Because
way,
that's right. That's what happens.
But that's-
it's like,
I-
okay, time for you. You go outside and build a snowman while I plow your mom. I'm
Two
your
things-
uncle, father. Don't worry about it. It's Norway.
The two things that I want
and
to
whatever
talk
you do,
about.
don't ground the coffee.
We talked about windows, a lot
Yeah.
of windows, but a lot of windows that look into bedrooms, like from a high level.
Yes!
Like
Everybody
that
lives-
was the worst. Who
Get on
fucking
a step
designed
stool
that?
to look in the other window.
That and like him looking in, and then the daughter looking in at the mother. Like,
And then
that's
Charlotte
the-
Gainsbourg's house is the same thing. It's like
Yeah.
street level, full window access that we can see everybody's
But
face.
this is
She
the
doesn't
window where
sing
it's like-
one goddamn song in the whole movie.
That's right.
Charlotte Gainsbourg?
Yes.
She's a singer.
You needed her to?
I did. I don't want to see her. I want to see her break into song. in the
Wearing a
middle of-
mini skirt in every exterior.
But
She's-
I applaud. But go continue about Charlotte.
Wait,
Gainsbourg.
I have a question.
Her work in it?
Where's
Me
the
too,
fucking puppy?
What do you mean?
I saw a puppy at the beginning of the movie. I either want to see that puppy dead.
Oh, do you mean you saw the puppy when the killer who had just killed and was playing that crazy song in Chloe 70's house? And then was playing
Popcorn
popcorn,
song?
straight up Vengabus.
It's called popcorn.
And then the killer is pretending to work on his home, and that song's playing again.
By
and
the way,
Harry
that's
Hole
how
is like,
bad
"Look
Harry
at
Holes is
the
as a
worst."
detective. That song, Hot Butter's Popcorn, has played twice in the last 48 hours in this motherfucker's life, and he's like, that's not weird.
Yeah. And the
Guess
last
what?
time,
It's 100% weird.
Can I go?
and the last time you heard it, someone died.
Yes.
Can I go back just a second more to go? We open it. We go back. I'm in. You go back to the fucking beginning where the guy's like, "Oh yeah, you got black mold in here." Is that tied to anything?
No.
Is this a fever dream from the black mold? Because it makes about as much sense, but it's like, all right, so your house is being severely renovated.
Was that the 20%?
But that's like a
They were like-
brush stroke of the character.
Yeah, it doesn't. It just.
There was a whole C story they didn't get to shoot about how he like put a new sink in and like extra closet space.
But why introduce that if it plays no part?
Probably
because
Michael Fassbender was like, "What is this character's flaw?" And the director was like, "What if he had black mold in his house?"
How about the fact that he comes...
Sign me up. I'm leaving Assassin's Creed right now.
How about
I want to be shooting by morning.
At the beginning of the movie when he arrives home and the guy is like fumigating or spraying whatever, and the guy's like, makes some noise. Fassbender pulls a gun and shoots. And only doesn't commit murder by being a bad shot.
And
He tries to murder that man.
the guy has no reaction.
This guy. I don't think this guy noticed.
I mean, here it is. He shot a gun at him.
Why is he wearing so much eyeliner?
So much eyeliner.
So much eyeliner. He's fumigating a man's apartment. He's like, guess what? I'm also emo.
Yeah.
Why?
Everything about this movie that tries to be scary or like, ooh, is backfire.
Is it
in a
supposed to be a
tremendous-
dragon tattoo? Is this the legacy?
Fassbender was like, I can do weird shit in snow.
Yes.
Watch me. And
Oh, yeah.
Jury's out.
Oh, yeah. He's like, I want to be hip deep in snow by the end of this movie.
Yeah.
And for it to make no sense.
And I would like to also...
I want to go out onto a frozen lake and call a man out who has a gun.
Yeah.
He's like, come on! Boom.
Again,
What?
I would
You
argue...
are bad at your job.
By the way, I would argue in that shot, the camera is as wide as it can go. You're like, where are you? Just right off camera. Because
I'm still close enough to shoot
there's
you.
no... Like, why not put it in the forest? Why not put it anywhere? Just
Why not? Here's the thing. If you're Michael Fassbender, why not instead, having rescued Charlotte Gainsbourg, not singing,
Thank
and
you.
Oleg, your son, not son, why don't you stay and protect them? Don't go out and find the man and challenge him like come on!
I also have to say, for a movie that is a mystery, I found everyone to look vaguely similar.
Yes.
Like Charlotte Gainsbourg looked a little bit like Rebecca Ferguson.
Yeah.
And the blonde woman who was killed in the house looked like the blonde woman who was killed 9 years ago, which I didn't even know was a flashback, and I was watching
Chloe
this movie very
Sevigny.
much.
I know. I did.
Chloe
there was,
Sevigny
I
looked
know.
like the other character
Yeah,
Chloe
her
Sevigny
sister.
was playing.
By the way, Go ahead.
It's because they all had bangs.
Chloe Sevigny is so criminally underused. And then when she died, after she was chopping chicken heads, using an accent that truly was from Mars, and then immediately killed, I was like, that sucks. She was only one scene. And then the other one pops up and it's like, oh, I'm her twin sister.
Can I ask a
And I was
question?
like, great, you're in the movie. Nope.
Can I ask a
I feel
question?
like,
Was Chloe Sevigny married to Mateus? Her
Who's
ex-husband. Her ex-husband is the one that calls in that she's died. And she calls him and he's like, if you do that again, I'm going to
right.
call the police. I'm really pissed at you. Cut to, it's zip zap. He like,
Zip, zap, zop.
He zip zap zops her head off. And puts it on a snowman
By the way,
in
when
some
that
sort
thing-
of weird bomb shelter thing.
Why
I don't
did
know
he-
why. But that must mean Mateus is her ex-husband,
Well,
right?
no, I think that part of that, like, sex ring is part of this, too.
The like Taken storyline.
yeah, which is also, like...
Because who did she call?
Give me
to
another
say, like,
thing to,
nice
like-
try.
And they never tied up that. Just J.K. Rowling just comes and goes in that movie.
By the way,
That he
was
had-
J.K. doing an accent for the first half, and then the second half was like, nah, fuck that.
Definitely. J.K. signed up for this movie and was like, I am living for this.
I feel like
Get ready, world. And
I
then
feel like
just
he
Wait till
won
you
an
see-
Oscar in the middle of this movie and was like, fuck.
Don't you also, like, I also feel like, going back to the accent of Chloe Sevigny, like, everyone's like, oh yeah, we're shooting this movie in Norway. And then they're reading the script on the plane for the first time. Like, oh, it's in Norway. People in Norway don't have accents. They got off the plane. They're like, oh. Like, it just, it was.
That's your Norwegian accent?
Like, just.
It's hard.
Yeah. Like whatever from the cab ride from the airport to set, that was where they did their most research.
I'm just looking at my notes on a macro level,
Yeah.
and there are so many things that have 3 to 5 question marks after it. This movie puts so many things in motion that it just simply does. Like the minute it went 7 years earlier, I was like, what?
And by the way, I was
For
watching
who?
it pretty intensely, and I missed that.
I missed 7 years earlier too, and
Yeah.
there's no sense of people wearing different clothes. I don't know if people
No,
did.
it doesn't matter. Val Kilmer's storyline takes place in the past, question mark?
Yeah.
And in service of what?
I
question
also
mark?
thought he was not dead. Like I was like, oh, he faked his death because he got too close. No, he was
I
dead.
Dead.
would love to talk about Oslo Police HQ.
Oh,
Which-
that was the best.
Which
mean
to me
the set of
appears,
Dogville?
which appears to be like a library.
Appears to be actually a really lovely place to work.
Yes.
Also,
Ping pong.
a 10-minute demonstration on how an iPad works.
And by the way,
what
this
was
movie
that? They were like,
made-
and then you swipe left, and then,
But there's like a man at the top of like a tall ladder. I was like, I feel like the minute people walk out of the room, they shoot like a J. Crew catalog. Everybody's like, and then
This-
like Rebecca Ferguson's leaving the room, and the phone rings, and everybody's like, the phone is ringing at the police station. What? This is the police station.
Well, it's because of
I feel like that. In defense of that moment, I think it was Harry's phone that was ringing.
Yes, it was, but who cares? They looked at it still like they've never seen a phone ring.
Well, look, this is a culture that we've established. The year is 2017, and the best thing to an iPad is bigger than most.
It's a clamshell.
What was
giant.
that? What was that meant
just a
to be?
briefcase with a camera. But they kept explaining, like, so to turn it on, you do this. And like 10 minutes later, that woman who sounded like an ashtray was still like explaining every part of it to us. And she was like, swipe left here, swipe right here. And I was like, shut up!
And it looked like the footage they were getting on there was really bad.
Grainy.
Yeah, and then it was like, but great to hide. Like when she puts that giant ass camera in the bookshelf,
Yeah.
like it looks like
A trunk.
That's crazy.
It's bigger than an old film camera. It, like now they don't even the film cameras that they use now are smaller.
Oh, no,
it was
would
full
be
reels.
Yeah.
It was like
It would be as if in 2017 you walked in and somebody was like, "Ooh, I'm sorry, there's an Apple IIe over there on that shelf. Like, what's going on?"
it was a desktop.
Yes.
It was like book.
Everybody, it's at some point is the Fassbender boss goes, you know, I'm sorry, we don't have more murders for you to solve, you know, because apparently but that's the only thing that helps you understand why they're such bad detectives.
Yeah.
Is because
Because they have no murders.
But
because
he's
they have
the
no
best.
crime.
The best
and
there is.
Fassbender's using the secret because he's like, please God, make
Give
me
me
a bird
some
so I can solve a lot of murders.
For
Yeah.
part of the movie,
he wants a murder.
For part of the movie, I thought Fassbender was doing the murders out of boredom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I was like, this
Because
is
he was
gonna
like,
be the
at
reveal.
least I'll
Well,
have
'cause
something to do.
I feel like every character in there just should have been like, can I kill? But you were saying backstage right before we went on, which I thought was so funny.
Don't tell them what I said
Oh,
backstage,
sorry.
Brian.
Okay. It's very Illuminati oriented, and it has to do with the top floor of the Celebrity Center. You were saying that the mother, when she dies at the beginning, is smiling on her way
Smiling.
down.
That was a tough moment.
So unsettling.
Here we just
Staring at your son,
Wait.
smiling.
What's better? Being hit every goddamn day of your life with coffee, or murdering yourself?
I mean, is
By
also
the way,
question,
like-
is it Kate McKinnon?
Honestly.
Like, very real question, is this Kate McKinnon?
It might be.
But by the way, like
Is this a Ghostbusters prequel?
what's so weird about this, and this is like what's so weird, is like they take away all sympathy for the mother to be like, this is how I'm going to kill myself in front of my kid like this. Not like, never like, I love you, I'm sorry. I guess she's catatonic, but I don't really even understand. Like, there's just like, she knows that he's there. Like, the stronger choice in my mind is like, just look forward. Like, but the fact that she's making eye contact.
She gives you the look that like intelligentsia gives you if you ask for a straw. She's like,
here it goes.
Look at her. Goodbye.
Volvo.
Volvo.
Sponsored by Volvo.
yeah.
I mean, that is such a crazy fucking moment. Like, and that's what you open the movie on. And then I thought, did you guys think that was Michael Fassbender's
Yes.
character?
Oh, the whole
Grown up?
time I thought it was
I
Fassbender.
think you're supposed to, right?
Oh.
I
okay.
assumed that was part of the.
I just
well,
thought
this
that was
movie
bad
like puts-
storytelling because it's like, why would you?
There's
Why
so
would you
many-
show this and then fade into Michael Fassbender?
Yeah.
The logical yes, the
By
logical
the way,
leap is that was
fade
him.
into
Yeah.
him fucking drunk at a children's museum. No, a children's park.
Yeah.
And then give no reason why he's fucked up. I don't know why is
And
he?
Yes. we
Why
never
is he
get
an
a-
alcoholic?
We presume
you
what
have
the
to
movie
have a
does.
reason to be an alcoholic.
Agree. What the movie. Yes, it's not a disease.
No.
It is.
No.
You have to have a reason.
Exactly. It's an annoying
Yep.
friend.
You have to
Finally, someone said it.
Yeah.
Peer
Yes.
pressure.
Peer pressure.
Whatever it is.
We're
Someone
high
to prove
school
to you.
experience.
By the way,
Yes.
or just handle your fucking liquor. We know you. Just do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
You
the
can't
movie-
grow a
Fuck up.
mustache. Whatever.
The movie is here's part of the reason the movie is so bad is that it's a mystery movie in which it is constantly giving you misdirects that do not help you. You don't get ahead of it. Like, yes, cutting from this to him sleeping in the thing suggests he is that kid, but he's not. So as a result, you're like, I can't play at all with this movie.
Also, like,
I don't get to weigh in. I don't get to be ahead of it. I don't get to guess. You can point at any character and be like, that's the murderer.
This movie.
you're not. It doesn't take you with it once.
This movie makes you a fucking victim.
Yes.
Also, what was they gave us Harry Hole. They also gave us the term. This was also a lazy
I'd love it if it
translation
gave me
thing.
Harry Hole.
Honey. It gave us the term pregnancy doctor, which like
She
I
saw
went to go
pregnancy
see my
doctor.
pregnancy doctor. You don't sound pregnant to me if you're saying it that way.
By the way, that scene had my favorite thing in it, which is like, I think my wife is cheating on me. How do you know? Oh, well, she's just gazing at him in a magazine pic, which they're not even together in. Like,
no.
she's married to him.
I love that.
Fucking.
Like, by
I
the
love
way,
that this
that's
picture
the
is-
laziest thing. It's
Yeah.
like, it's not like all three of them are together. It's like not like you see like, oh, here's a photo of them at an event. It's three separate photos, but her eyes are like on JK.
Honestly, how insecure as a spouse do you have to be to look at that picture and be like, are you fucking him?
In this composite shot that none of us were there for.
Why is
When I see the back of a man's head,
Okay.
my panties get so fucking soaked.
Okay.
By the way, can someone explain this part of the story to me? Because it doesn't
No.
tie into anything.
Yes,
Okay.
I can a little
All
bit,
right.
I think. Okay. So,
They're trying to get
gentleman
the
on the
Olympics.
far right.
Yes, J.K. Simmons.
what? No, far right.
Far right, the husband. Okay.
Can't remember
Beats
who
by
he is.
Dre guy.
What?
I don't know. He just wore Beats by Dre. It made me really confused. I
Oh,
was
yes,
like,
he's
what?
wearing
Yeah.
headphones later. Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. So and that's his wife.
Yes.
They in Bergen.
In Bergen.
Bergen he has a family business of some sort that is big time. J.K. Simmons comes in, he becomes a shareholder in their family business. He then muscles them out.
Okay.
He sells the land that their business is
Wow,
on
this is all in the
for a
movie.
fortune.
Okay.
And I believe, my understanding is she might be one of the first people. She also disappears.
Right.
She
I know that.
disappears in a way that you must presume you're meant to believe is to cast doubt on JK as the Snowman killer. He's been killing since her.
Got
but
it.
that is not the case.
But he's
JK's
doing something else.
Yeah, no, he's just like a cool perv.
But is he running like? But I get that he likes to quickly
He's
take
just a
pictures
cool
of women.
perv.
Like,
How about when he does that to Rebecca Ferguson? He's just like, okay, that sounds good.
click.
Just
With a
She
flash.
doesn't react. There's a flash 1 inch from her pupil, and she does not react.
With a
Yank Bank.
flash?
He also is sticking with the Flash. It's not going to come out great. But all right. So, but what is his? So I know he's trying to get the Olympics there. That's a thing. But then there's
Is
a
it the
fertility
Olympics
doctor.
or is it the World Cup?
No, it's like a nothing.
It's a neither. It's like something. It's something in between.
It's like,
Winter
it's
Games?
like World Sports Winter.
yes.
I
That
just love
is-
the party where there are full-on fucking skiers going through.
I have to be
And
honest with
ice
you.
hockey.
That made me want to go there. I thought if I could attend a ball and be pummeled by hockey pucks every which way, like that's a selling. I would love
By
to
the way,
go.
it made me think that everyone there was walking on fucking solid ice.
They had to have been. There were active skaters on the in the
skate.
place.
It truly
And
was like
we're sure they weren't blading.
the
maybe.
the patrons. No,
Oh.
the
No.
donors.
No,
the philanthropists.
No,
they
the
were walking.
people skating were on rollerblades.
No,
Maybe.
they were skating.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think skating, but maybe you're right.
She's absolutely not right. They were not rollerblading.
You don't see their feet? They're too lazy to show you their feet.
You did see their feet. I could do
So,
this.
all right. So, just to draw this line, just to finish this circle. So,
This circle
The
is
I wrote,
fertility
now
doc-
there's abortion doctors?
so the abortion doctor, fertility doctor, whatever that
Oh,
doctor is.
Ivan or something.
Yeah.
I liked him.
Mr.
I liked
Mr.
him too.
Nail
That was a
polish?
great scene. That was
Yeah.
one
He
of
was
the
good.
best scenes. I
Wait,
was like,
sorry,
wait,
why
you
was
like the
he
guy running
barefoot?
the prostitution ring?
Yes, I thought he was.
Not
Like, I thought
as
the
a
actor
human
was really
being.
good.
Like
Yeah.
I thought that was like that was
I
the only-
related to him.
was the only thing.
I thought he was the hero of the movie.
What?
Because what he was doing was good.
Yeah.
Also,
I just-
I
Give me-
like looking at his weird feet as he was cuddled up on his couch
Yes.
There
while
was-
talking to police.
Like that to me felt like the most. Like if you said to me, "What scene feels the most like a?"
I guess I don't know. I
Yeah.
guess I don't know who that is.
His shirt was open a little bit. But if you were saying to me like, "Hey, it's a Norwegian detective movie," I'm like, that scene feels like the only scene that belongs.
was
creepy, yeah.
I was like, creepy.
He
It
was
weird.
great.
But now he's doing what to women?
Giving.
a sex ring.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
They,
like
they have,
selling
and I
them.
only know this because I read the Wikipedia page,
Okay.
not because the fucking movie told me.
Okay, so he's running a sex ring and he's
With
bringing.
J.K. Simmons and his Spirit Gum Cocker Spaniel beard.
Sure.
And so he's bringing women
To an underground carousel. I don't know where they were. It was like an underground silent movie theater.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck was going on there, but yet like
Why
Rebecca
did he
Ferguson's
meet
in there,
J.K.
fine, no problem.
With a full, just VCR camera.
Got
filming
it.
the whole
And everyone has iPhones. JK has an iPhone.
Yeah.
Why doesn't she just fucking have an iPhone? Why wouldn't you put that iPhone on the shelf?
She needed like a crew. It was
She's
so
filming.
shocking.
She's filming a clandestine meeting between J.K. Simmons, the fertility doctor, and some woman. The fertility doctor takes her top off. She's recording it with like a Commodore 64.
Yes. But yet,
Yes.
it's a world
It
in
is-
which people have iPhones.
It's wild. This is how bad Norway's police are.
Yeah.
That's right, Norwegian police. We are putting you on blast.
I thought there was something funny about like the politeness of Norwegians because at one point the mom gets a text. She pulls over, answers the
Oh,
text.
that was
and then goes back to
amazing.
driving.
So responsible.
That was so Norwegian.
Oh yeah, I'll pull over to answer this text.
You know what other technology thing I didn't buy? Wasn't even technology. The fact that they were like, let's figure out where this woman went. Let's look at her physical calendar where she handwrote
Yes.
all of her appointments in different ink. It's like, oh, she's supposed to be a
That's a
fucking
bullet journal?
business lady, and she's like, la 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 la.
Didn't
what do
you-
I do on the 12th?
Didn't you think that the daughter's
Was
phone
disturbed.
was-
Oh,
the
sorry, go ahead.
daughter's phone was going to be important? The daughter had
The
taken a
bunny ear?
picture at one
Yeah.
point, and like there was all this stuff that I kept feeling like the movie, in order to obfuscate what was happening, because otherwise you would figure it out instantaneously,
Yeah.
had to put a bunch of like nonsense MacGuffins in to kind of distract you.
I literally at one point when they were on the train and he's in the kids compartment in the train and the guy comes in and
Is
goes,
that where he is?
yeah, like because that's why there's like
Like
a
the playroom.
playroom, weird, specific that he like. Oh, that's where he works. Okay, so anyway, he when the guy comes in, the stepdad comes in. I'm like, if this motherfucker is the killer, I'll be so mad.
Oh, and then the fucking second he sits down and is like, I'll cover for you. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, well, so you're the killer.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
doesn't make
done.
any
Well,
fucking
that's
sense.
the minute I saw Toby Jones, I was like, uh-oh.
Also, what happened
We got
to
a
him?
Toby Jones in this movie.
Toby
That's
Jones
probably
aged.
the killer.
I think that's what happened. to
What
him.
the fuck? No, what does he do in that movie? You
Toby
saw him
Jones
and then you didn't.
Yeah, Toby Jones is pointless. I think Toby Jones is there literally to make you believe. Well,
He's
it's
like,
Toby
Mike Capote
Jones.
was
He's
better.
the killer.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's the killer. He looks like a real creep. But no, it's not at all. He's just like he only exists as the to give shed light on the Val Kilmer character in the
right.
flashback.
Wait, who is Toby Jones?
He was the one who played Capote that wasn't Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yes.
He was
Oh.
like the like.
He had
You know,
crop hair.
famous Norwegian actor Toby Jones.
He was in the Hunger Games, but he played like the adversary of Val Kilmer's
Val
character.
Kilmer.
But why did Val Kilmer hate him so much that he like walked out on the roof of the police precinct? And I was like, well, what is this leading to?
Leading to nothing, and also all this weird VO conversation happening via walkie-talkie.
Well,
just
this
like
is-
seamless.
why
Like,
could
oh,
they-
now they're. It was so crazy.
Here's
Could
the
they
thing.
hear what was being said on
I
the
don't
walkie-talkie?
think
No.
So, I mean, just so you know, like, I mean, it's more the choice of this. The get Val Kilmer, he's recovering from, he called it cancer healing, but from throat cancer.
Yeah.
So he clearly couldn't speak in the movie. So what I think happened is he does his lines, but because he can't speak, he is probably speaking with like a lisp or something. So then the ADR guy has to compensate for his weird lip movements. So then his like, oh, I'll tell you this much. So that's weird. It's Bane
I would
has-
truly do anything for any bonus footage of that ADR session.
Right, well, because it's like, how do you match his lips? Because his lips aren't really
Yeah.
even moving as I was watching. And then at a certain point, you have to go, you know what? We're going to pay you out, and we're just going to get somebody else because you have a guy who is supposed to be the parallel of the other guy solving a murder with wordless. Like, he doesn't speak. He goes through such great lengths to just, and it's like, to do that, it feels like that's really harming your movie.
It was like David Lynch. It was like watching that little guy who's like Laura Palmer, like
and it's
in
like
Twin Peaks.
It's
Like speaking backwards in the
Yes,
red
that dude was
velvet
like,
room. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, here it is. I mean, we were talking.
Watch how much he looks like Kurt Russell.
Oslo, city of Bergen, 9 years earlier.
That's Goldie Hawn.
Not Victor Garber.
Here it is.
Folded page.
How long has she been missing?
2 days.
Can you pause for a second, Paul?
She said
I thought that we were meant to believe. I felt like when it first happened, they were masking his voice like it was going to be a reveal later.
Right.
And in fact, it's just a bad, weird ADR voice.
I mean, so because I'm like, is it Norwegian? Is it what? Like, here, you'll listen to again. It's Bane.
going to visit a friend and she never came back.
And they also do so much on the back of his head. Here we go.
Oh, whenever he
What?
whenever he talks, it's on the back of his head because they can't match the lip motion.
Yeah.
Why did you come to me? I've been suspended.
Because you're a friend. You're a great detective. But I don't want anyone knowing about this just yet. Not yet. I don't want to go to the police.
Can you tell me?
Paul, can you pause it? I want to remind everybody listening and who's in the room tonight, both of these characters are Norwegian.
Yes.
They also made an executive decision in this movie to remove anything in Norwegian, any license plates, any titling. Weird, because it's in Oslo. It's like they don't.
I would have loved it. And honestly, I'm not
This
kidding.
is
I would have
Bergen.
loved to have seen more of Norway.
Yes.
I really would have.
There was a moment
Transport
where I was
me.
like, well, at least it's pretty.
At least it's pretty, yeah.
Because I don't know anymore. Like, my brain is so fucked up. Like, this could be British as far as I know after watching this movie. Who speaking in this movie is doing an actual Norwegian accent? Is there one person?
I don't think so.
don't think
There's not
so.
one
Yeah.
person.
I don't think one
I-
person.
It's just a
don't
Benetton ad of accents.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
don't-
mean, clearly J.K. Simmons and one of Chloe Sevigny's characters
Is
are,
doing an accent.
doing unaccent.
Yeah.
But like, it is clear, like there has been no effort made for even the main characters to sound Norwegian.
Nothing. Well,
okay.
Michael Fassbender. Rebecca Ferguson.
But
they
I will
just sound
say-
like themselves.
I will say this. Without saying much, Val Kilmer is, like, you can see, like, oh, you don't need that many words. Like, he just gives a lot of stares.
And I'm going to be honest with you, like, this is a performance I feel like that has been duplicated. I mean, this is Bradley Cooper is doing this in A Star Is Born. He is. He's just like,
I just ready to get another look at you. I've never been in a bar like this before. I want you to come
I
on
will-
the
I
road
would
with
say-
me. First stop is Arizona.
I think Bradley Cooper thinks he's convinced us he's 58 years old.
yes. And also has convinced us that he's Heath Ledger.
Yes.
It's like,
Oh,
there was just like a Brokeback Mountain.
I just wanted to get another look at you. You had a pretty good voice, bro. I love your nose. Don't be scared of me. Are you a guy? Are you a dude?
I was born in 1940.
Did you vote for Eisenhower?
What shampoo?
He's doing
Sorry,
a
I couldn't.
He's doing like an acting workshop. Like, I can show range.
That's Val Kilmer's part. Also, I know we're not there yet, but this is how
we're there.
Okay. This is how indiscreet Harry Hole is as a detective.
Every
Him
time
with that
Harry
Lee-
Hole
Makes me laugh every time.
It's
That
hilarious.
fucking Lee press on nail at the end of the
Oh.
movie, tapping on that mug.
Oh, yeah.
For a
Oh,
solid
that
five. Just like,
Jamie Lannister
tick,
finger?
Tick, Tinker
Yeah.
Tailor, seamstress spy. Like, just like, full. That noise was so grating.
Ending it in the
And
way
it didn't
of
even look like his finger was gone.
No, and
It
he's
was
like, I'll take the next case. And it's like, well, are you going to tap your finger on the mug if you take the case?
I can't believe Rebecca Ferguson got killed.
Yeah.
Wait,
By the way,
and
she
it was
doesn't
good.
get killed in the books.
But she doesn't.
No, she's like a character in these books that exists for many more books. Like,
This is why we need Me Too.
Wait, Rebecca Ferguson's character doesn't die in the book.
Also, by the way, she's also smiling in a car when she dies.
Yes.
That was definitely
With her head on. With her head on. Everybody's like,
perfect.
yeah.
What killed her? All he did was cut
Her finger.
off.
She lost her finger and she
Yeah,
she
but that's
couldn't
all
text
she lost.
anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. All I know is he looked out a window. There's a snowman on top of his car.
Yes.
And like this. And by the way, the snowman zooms in this were full dramatic chipmunk like. And just carrots.
And it's
It made the first test screening. I laughed every single time they said Harry Hole, and every time you saw fucking Snowman.
snowman.
Yes.
It's like, yes.
It works every time.
So it really does. Like as a key witness to
Yes.
keep zooming on a snowman.
And by the way, how did he do that snowman on the car? Like, you'd have to have, like,
So much work.
Gotten up there, but no footprints.
Yeah.
There are so many times when Mateus must have been building the snowman such that people could have seen him making the snowman.
Yeah.
That's why you had to do that sneaky one, the forward-facing and backward-facing.
I like that, the Two-Face.
Can I talk about the editing for a second? I want to play this.
Which edited by the way, Thelma
yes.
Shoemaker.
Right, who edited Raging
Wait.
Bull.
Raging Bull
Well,
and
that's
The
Martin
Departed.
Scorsese's editor.
Yes.
For
Well,
'cause he
ever.
produced this, and like
that's
I said-
Michael Powell's wife.
Here we go, I'm sure. But actually, it's edited by
I mean, like
two.
a pretty legendary person.
Yeah, oh yeah, one of the best.
It is actually edited by two editors, both super highly recommended because, and they're not together. So it was like, fuck, here's what I got. And then someone's like, let me take a shot. This is what I got. And one of them was released or they were merged together, but like clearly like two A+ editors were like, like maybe it will show up on a podcast one day.
I think that's the most shocking thing about this movie is the right actors, the right director, the right cinematographer, the right editor, and just a colossal fuck up.
Oh, so crazy. All right, so this is this is the editing. Just watch the choices here. And maybe, yeah. On Fassbender. There we go. This is the entrance scene where he comes in.
This is his apartment.
His apartment. Just wait a second. Okay, boom. Jump cut. Jump cut. Weirdly a jump cut, even though he's walking very slow. All right. Next scene. Dog.
There's my puppy.
Boom. Fire, fire, fire. Dog. Gun. Guy. Harry ho. Back to. But I just love that the
Where
dog
does that
gets.
dog go?
And
The
why
dog-
does the dog get a reaction shot?
Well, I think the movie should have been 85% more of that dog.
Also, the dog.
There it is.
Look
gives
at that
one of-
dog.
Dog gives
Boom,
one of the
boom.
best
And
performances.
what is it eating?
The dog was shot.
Oh, you scared a puppy, Michael Fassbender, you asshole.
Boy, that's a cute puppy.
It's so cute. Also, Michael Fassbender takes care of this dog. How just like pours water on the floor before he leaves.
Also,
No, it's
like,
not. It's not. It's the guy who's removing the mold's dog because remember later in the movie when the
This-
bad guy is in the fucking hazmat suit and he
Oh.
walks out and then the guy's like clearly at a bar with his puppy because that's what you do.
I thought
and he's
he-
like, "Hey, bro, what's up? Ruin my costume."
I thought it was a blackout adoption because when he wakes up at one point, he sees the concert tickets he bought for his son. He's like, shit. But he was so drunk. He's like, I want to adopt a puppy. They just wait.
Oh, and
he's
when he
a
forgets
drunk
to go
who
on the
wakes up in a sea of puppies.
Poor Oleg, by the way.
Poor Oleg.
Just treated like shit at every
Why
turn.
Oleg-
can't anybody in this movie admit who their fucking kid is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because at
It
one
doesn't
point
make
it's like,
any sense.
he's not his dad. He's the boyfriend of his mom. I guess after she already had him.
No, but he is his dad.
No.
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 What?
No. Fassbender? Wait,
Fassbender.
Fassbender is not
Why?
Oleg's
Remember
dad.
when Charlotte Gainsbourg
He
isn't
goes-
fucking singing and she's like, should we tell him you're his dad?
No, she
What?
says the boy says to Fassbender at one point, "You're not her boyfriend anymore."
Yeah.
And so I think he said, and then an earlier Gainsborough was like, I think he would like to see you at the house, or like
But she wasn't like, you're his dad. Why are you being all weird about it?
Also, but I still
Does
don't
anybody
understand.
know?
Was
Does
his
anybody
game
know?
just like, I
Does any-
target women who's
Did anybody
married
read
to
the
people
book?
who don't know who their sons are?
Yeah. So was he?
No.
Was he trying to like? And what was the idea of giving Fassbender like sleeping pills or putting that other
Yeah, what
pill
was
there?
that?
Why was he always trying to drug Fassbender?
and did the guy put the pills?
Yes.
Yeah, the killer did.
Why?
And what is diazepam? What is that? Like,
I don't
Isn't it
know.
like a sleeping pill? It wasn't.
All right, so
didn't
he
he
just
say
wanted
it
to
was
make
for
him sleep
sleeping?
more?
Yeah, I get it. Sounded delicious. I don't know what it was, but it was one of the Pams, and I was all in.
Why? Also, why isn't
Oh.
Fassbender sleeping?
Why?
Why?
He's a drunk. Isn't that all they
What
do?
is he plagued by?
He had a weird high school experience, and so he's an alcoholic now,
Right.
and he
Okay.
can't sleep because of it.
You could have found out about it in the books, the previous books, the bat, cockroaches, the red breast, the nemesis,
These
devil
are the
stars.
subtitles?
Yep. The Redeemer, the Snowman, the leopard, the phantom, the police.
Why haven't they made
the
all
thirst.
of them?
Well,
This is-
clearly he
this
was
is
like
the-
getting ready to make his Marvel. This is it.
It's
this
true.
is my this is
There's never
He's
been
the-
nothing primed for a sequel like, I'll take the next case. And then everyone's like,
She has cuts inside her mouth.
yeah.
The
What a
idea
crazy
that they
killer.
did a scene that set up a sequel to this movie is hubris.
It really is.
Paul, I
Yes.
see
Yes.
a file that I'm so interested in
Yes,
because I wrote down Norwegian Moby,
Okay.
and I think you know perhaps what that's in reference to.
Yes.
They go to a concert.
Yes.
And no one
Amazing.
is
my
having
God.
fun. Not one person's enjoying this.
Well, because they're essentially watching like male Bjork on stage screaming his face
This
off.
And
is
he
Oleg's birthday concert.
This is his birthday.
And by the way,
If my
this is his
mom's
makeup.
ex-boyfriend, who is my surrogate father, took me to this, I'd be like, do you hate me?
But it's also so weird. It's like, yeah, I got these tickets from a guy at work. Like, with no explanation. Like, you want tickets? Yeah. Great. Oh, for a hamburger. Thank you. It didn't seem like he asked
It was
anything.
like if the B-52s didn't make music or have lyrics, this is the concert they went to.
I thought it was like really bad spoken word performance.
It was
like,
the worst concert I've
Like
ever
this
seen.
is the Norwegian Henry Rollins.
Sure, it was very Henry Rollins.
This is like what we understand Norway to be.
Here we go.
Work got me the tickets.
fun.
Everyone is
For that
seated.
guy. The music is against what he's doing.
Look how many
is
empty
against-
seats there are.
It's like this movie shows that this is unsuccessful. And so you, except for this one guy.
One guy is on his feet.
This guy's having the time of his fucking life.
Like, they didn't give the audience, and this guy's taping it. They didn't give this guy's actually part of the crew. He has a smaller camera than Rebecca Ferguson.
You know that song, I Hope You Dance? It's about this guy.
Yeah, I thought it was like Ballroom Blitz at first, but here we go. But it's neither like metal, it's not hardcore, it's like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Where's the band? What's happening?
I kind of want to read the book now. So
This-
just for that.
I hope
for that
there's a whole
explanation.
chapter just
I bet it would make the movie more satisfying because there's clearly a lot of stuff in play. But again, keep in mind, they did not shoot 15 to 20% of the script.
And by the way, they also, Johnny Greenwood recorded a score that they're
Really?
like, nah, we
They
won't
didn't
use
use it?
They didn't use any of his score.
What? That was a mistake.
Yeah, huge. But by the way, it's not like, oh, it would wreck the movie. Because
What if any Norwegian person we talked to was like, it made perfect sense, it was terrifying, I was on the edge of my seat, the references were incredible, and the linchpin of it was that dude singing, and if you missed the reference, you didn't get it.
he's revealing the killer in that moment?
There was like a really, everything is garbage. Everything is garbage. And then there's a moment where like Charlotte Gainsbourg, not singing, comes over to Michael Fassbender's apartment and she's like, I miss you. And I'm like, oh, great. I'm going to see two hot people fuck. Nope.
Yes, you do.
They do fuck.
Dry
I think.
hump.
do.
They dry hump.
No, they fuck.
I thought they fucked.
No.
No,
They
fucking
don't
is
fuck?
when you're both wearing clothes and you rub against each other, right?
Wait, that's just
Yeah.
rubbing?
Yes. Look at
She
that.
gets interrupted
that
by
is
a
dry
phone
She
call.
climbs on top, or what is
To me,
this?
it was fucking.
What is this? This
That-
looks to me like sex.
That is, his pants are not undone.
She's on his ribcage. That's not sex. Michael Fassbender is not into this.
By the way, why would she be into
I
that
know.
thing?
Yeah, maybe you're right.
I thought they were fucking.
Yeah, no.
No, that's not fucking, you guys.
No, his pants are...
This is not erotic.
No.
Are you sure they're not sex?
No, they're not fucking.
No, look, watch, she just gets up.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry.
While like Sigur Rós
Yeah, look,
plays in
his,
the background.
his pants are fully buttoned.
Oh, that's true. I
Wow.
misunderstood that too.
Yeah.
Well, so in order for a woman to fuck, you have to put your vagina on a dick.
Well.
So
You know what though? And
Yeah.
this might be Norwegian sex.
I think it is.
belly button
They're like,
to
it's too
clitoris.
cold.
That's what George Harrison wrote about when he wrote about Norwegian wood.
She did get pregnant, though, after that.
I once
She's
wore
gonna go
a
right-
sweater dress, and can I say, I humped his jeans.
If she gets pregnant,
rode me until nothing much happened, then walked away. We
right.
both care about Oleg. He's not my son. You're fucking the murderer.
Isn't it good, Norwegian?
We're gonna get to you guys
anybody
in the
here from
audience
Norway?
in a second.
Please be.
There's a lot to get to, but this is one thing we've never done in the show before. A little bit of a game. The trailer of this movie has a lot of scenes that are not in the movie, which is surprising for a movie that they didn't shoot 20% of. But they were like, let's keep a little bit on the cutting room floor. And there are things that I want to go through, show it to you. We'll talk about it and see what we can see. What could this have been? All right, so first scene is this. It's a photographer taking pictures of a dismembered body in the middle of a museum.
But this looks like a gorgeous scene.
That's
I would
yes.
love
lovely.
to have seen this.
And this is the dude who is talking to Val Kilmer.
So
So,
this is in the 9 years ago.
9 years ago, but there is the way
Is that
the
his
body.
wife? I bet that's his wife.
That's his wife, but that's the way her body was found on the mountain.
Well, that's the thing. There's all these things where the murderer takes apart the person's body and rearranges it.
Yeah.
So I wonder if this is that, but like with that guy's, I don't know.
But like that's not the murderer. So
no,
if
this
it
looks
was
like police.
Yeah. So okay.
Also, is Charlotte Gainsbourg at some point explaining these paintings to somebody? Isn't there a scene where she's working in a gallery or something?
Yes. That's not these paintings, but that is
Oh, by the way,
true.
that was when I wrote
she
down.
says you scared away my clients.
Oh, when he stares at her in the mirror or in the window for like 5 minutes.
When I wrote down, at that point I wrote down this movie should be called Pensive Looks Through Windows.
Honestly.
Because I started keeping count and I literally was like, I lost count at a certain point. I was like, window look. Everyone's looking through a window.
And they locked eyes for like 5 minutes while she was with a client.
And then she didn't reappear in the movie for like 40 minutes. I wrote down, where is Charlotte Gainsbourg?
Here's footage number 2. This looks like part of the implantation from the sex therapist. So
what?
I mean, what do you see here? What
It
do you
looks
got?
like a diaphragm full of yogurt.
Yeah.
I was thinking it maybe is
It looks like pouring milk into a condom.
Yeah.
All right, so there's that. Don't know what that scene was. Don't even know how that fits in. I don't even think they
what
went-
is that?
What on earth?
Yeah.
Or glass blowing?
It does look like a female condom.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. It's attached to that thing.
Why
So-
does it have to be gendered?
Sorry.
It could be a male condom.
Snow person.
So that's like some weird.
That's right.
Why isn't it called snow person?
I'm with you.
Here we go. This scene.
this?
That looks great.
He's shot. So
Who?
we know he shot Fassbender in
Oh.
this scene. He's stopping a car on the road. So what happened here?
Yeah, that's a
Why,
different
but why is he
scene.
holding his shoulder? Because
'Cause
he's
he's
shot here. He's shot lower when
I
he's
thought he was
shot
shot
on the
higher.
ice.
So this is a scene where he gets in the car and he's like, "Yeah, crazy day. Can you take me to this cabin where my
Killers. So I bet you maybe they reshot the. Well, we'll see. I have a theory about the ending. All right, so that's that.
He's like, get me out of this movie.
That was just that was just him in a Norwegian highway. Okay, here we go. And here are the last 2. This is Chloe. So as we know, Chloe, she's just chopping the heads off of chickens. Turns around, there's like a baby, a sweaty
Baby doll, yeah.
sweaty baby doll. But now we see this. She's clearly been running and limping, and steps in a bear trap. So I'll show that again. So there's the bear trap. She's running.
We saw no build-up.
Bear trap.
This was it. This
So
was
there's a scene where Chloe Sevigny gets caught in a fucking bear trap.
And they were like, cut it.
But how did that even tie into anything else? Because he just comes up behind her like, shit.
I love when this shit happens because I just like the idea of like Chloe bringing someone to the premiere and being like, there's a great scene where I get stuck in a bear trap. And then the friend, I just picture halfway through the movie going, liar.
The fact
You're such a liar.
I wrote Chloe Sevigny's in this movie, some version of that. Okay. And then I wrote like whatever, 2 lines later, Chloe Sevigny plays 2 parts in this movie. Yeah. When she was like her sister and was like, I don't know where she is. I was like, what's happening? This has become Love Boat level crazy.
It really
you
did.
played 2 roles and you're on screen for 45 seconds.
Honestly. And any time that I was like, oh, this will be interesting, they're like, oh, no, I'm her twin sister. It's not related. This isn't confusing for you, okay?
Yeah.
Don't
worry, none of this will be important.
Maybe the reshoot was adding the twin sister. Like, we just need to make this movie weirder. Like, now you're twins.
So tragic.
This is the one that confounds me the most. Okay, so here we go. It's a barn. Looks like the barn from the end of the movie. Explosion and fire. So,
Is there an alternate ending where
like
Charlotte Gainsbourg
like this is the house.
dies?
That is clearly the house. Something explodes the house to such a degree that it should be made out of gasoline.
And who's in there?
Don't you
Don't know.
Don't you feel like they shot an ending where like everyone dies and like Michael Fassbender dies and then other guy does his Titanic ending
Michael Fassbender
and then they
should
reshot
die.
it. They were like, it's too sad.
They all should die except for the villain because the villain is clearly the smartest person in the movie.
By far. I wish everyone gave a 2-camera interview at the end of this movie explaining why they were in it. Like, I wish J.K. Simmons' character was like, so at the end, nothing is resolved with me. I literally drop out of this movie.
I wasn't
like an
part of
exit
the bigger
interview, like
story.
an
Yes.
So yeah, I did try to have a good time. Things got a little bit off the rails.
It's just,
but
yeah, my character isn't explained at the end, but, what's up?
maybe sequel. I like the idea of a post-credit sequence like that, where it's like, what happened to them? It's like, here's my best guess as an actor. The way I was able to go home on the flight and justify it, or tell my friends, is that
we got the Winter Games. I went to my hallway full of beautiful tapestries. The girl wasn't there. I took a nap.
The only thing that made sense in this movie was when the villain was on the train with Michael Fassbender, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to some conference about using hormone therapy to prevent aging, because who's going to need plastic surgery if you can use hormone therapy?" And I immediately grabbed my laptop and I was like, "Is this possible? Is this a real thing that's happening?"
Let's get into the crowd a little bit, because we can stay here all night. But all right, let's go into it, people. Let's see what you have to say. All right, let's figure out what I'm going to make you do for this. All right, I'm going to do you say your name and your best ADR voice for Val Kilmer. All right, so that you don't have to do the whole thing, but just your name. Okay, so and your question.
My name is Patrick Schoenberg.
Great.
So my question is, at some point in the movie, essentially what happens is we see like one of his superiors at the party where everybody is, like the J.K. Simmons thing is going down. He goes there and he reads his note from earlier in the movie that he gets from the killer, and it basically says, "I saw you pass out outside. I was guarding mommy, don't worry about it." And at no point does his superior in the police force go like, "Yeah, why were you passed out outside?" Nobody calls him back to that. So like, why is his alcoholism never a point ever again, or his passing out in a children's park done?
Or that he seems to be part of an active serial killer's plan. Like, the serial killer is communicating with him directly, and he barely mentions it, doesn't call any attention to it, and even though the serial killer's signature is a snowman and that there's a snowman at every murder site, he still doesn't put any of it together. He's awful at his job.
When that song plays again, and he's just like, "Let yourself out. Great to see you."
Yeah.
It was,
hey,
so
get out of here. Get out of here. What?
Well, how about the? But by the way, I'll even buy that is if he's like, "Get out of here," and you hold on him for a second. He's like, "Oh shit," and then he goes running after him, but then the guy disappears. But he doesn't even do that, right? He doesn't run after him.
No. He's
Here's
just
the-
like, "I'm going to spill some water on the floor. Maybe a dog will come lick it up."
Here's my other question that I was confused by, and I didn't rewind it because I didn't care, which was, you talked about him passing out on the ground. There's later a picture of him in a frame, right? Yes. That's like on a mantle. In whose house?
His ex-girlfriend's? But is it like a...
No,
where is
isn't
it?
it the house of Mateus?
It's Mateus'
It's the
house.
killer's house.
But
The cabin?
No.
No, it's like his house.
It's his home, right?
But yes, but why would he have the picture, like, by the way, why would he have all the proof of his serial killing out?
Oh, he's got it laid out.
They always want to get caught.
He's got it laid out like printouts of every person he's killed.
But then also framed photographs. Like that one of him passed out in front of the bar was he's like, well, I'll get a frame for this.
Keep in mind, the killer is a medical professional. He's a doctor. And he still has time to make these.
He lives with the wife.
Yes. No, he doesn't live with the wife. He's her
wearing
boyfriend.
the apron.
What?
No.
He wears aprons with her.
Well,
he does. He wears that apron.
He does. He doesn't live with Charlotte Gainsbourg.
They're not married.
No.
No, because wasn't there a discussion about moving to the country?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And the kid didn't want to go?
Isn't Oslo the country? Like, What? We didn't see a city center. I just saw cliffs and ice.
Yeah. So fuck you, Norway. I goddamn dare you,
Jason?
Norway, to
Jason?
pay for us to come to your country and do a show.
I have to be honest with you. I would actually love to see a summer Norway movie. I think that'd be beautiful. I would go to Norway any minute.
Same.
By the
Bring
way-
us, Norway.
By the way, read one of the many Joe Nesbo books. He'll bring you there, and you'll feel like you're in. Yes, your name and your question, and the Val Kilmer ADR voice. Just your name.
Nikki.
No, okay.
Okay. I used to be Batman. So at the point where the female detective is suspended and sent home, he breaks into her apartment and then picks her up and slams her into the ground so hard. And then he lies down on top of her while she screams for him to get off, and he makes the weirdest face.
Also, and then they have like a fucking 16 Candles moment where they're just sitting beside each other going like, what are you thinking?
He's like a real Jake Ryan to her.
All right,
No,
so-
he
Sort of
lies
is a little bit.
He lies on top of her like she's having a fit or something.
Also, remember when she fucking dies in his car and the next day there's two people crying at the office and he's like, dry your fucking eyes, you pussy. Like, he's like, doesn't care at all that she's dead. Hi, never mind.
All right.
And she's Val Kilmer's daughter.
Yes! And no one explicitly says that.
I haven't understood a word anyone said.
Is there
When he said-
anybody? Did
when he
everybody
says that,
under?
he goes,
did everybody
"Why?
know that she
Why
was
are
Val Kilmer's
why
daughter?
are you Cuddle Bear?" And she's like, "Oh, because what is it?
Oh, Cloudberry.
Cloudberry,
You
yeah.
know the term everyone here knows.
Cloud."
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't even talked about.
Are you
the
guys
fucking
leaving?
Snowman.
The shotgun?
Are you guys leaving? Why? Did you love the movie?
They're
They're
Norwegian.
mad.
They're Norwegian.
No. Who leaves at this stage of the podcast?
They're so mad.
If they come back, I swear to God, let's get them.
They
I know I've been here well over an hour. I want to go.
By the way, how dumb was it that the snowman killer put a snowman head on the blown off part of Val Kilmer's body, knowing it would melt?
Yeah.
Like,
How unsatisfying.
Yeah,
if I were
like-
a serial killer, you leave your mark. You don't want it to fucking melt.
And then he goes, what are those coffee beans on the floor? Oh, boy.
yeah, that was a real stretch.
Was the uncle father's whole coffee torture scene about Norwegian history?
yeah. Literally the first line in the movie is
That's-
like, what's your favorite thing about Norwegian parliament?
That's what's
For a movie-
important.
for a
That's
movie-
worth dying for?
Dying.
But by the way,
for.
for a movie that seemingly wants to separate itself from Norway, weird way to start it.
We start off, truly, we start off so specific
and
about
it's-
Norway.
I don't even know if he's right or wrong. It sounds convincing to me.
The stakes are 0 for us.
All right, here we go, sir.
Also, like, I know it's not about this, but like, she is so much hotter than him.
Oh, the first
The
couple?
mom?
Oh,
The
for
first- the
sure.
mom.
She looks
oh, yeah.
like a fucking Williamsburg barista, and he looks like my fucking alcoholic Catholic uncle.
But by the way, kudos to this movie for the grossest sex noises. It was like, ugh, ugh. And it was like, oh, that's the noise that man would make having sex with that woman. Like, it felt right. It didn't, yeah. All right, here we go. Great.
Just to go back to the whole Norwegian history opening scene thing, he had a full-on test, like filled out. Whose test was that?
Yeah, who's
It was
written?
like a child's, like, it was like a history test in a class. Like, it was fully filled out with correct answers and more, like...
Well, I also thought that they were setting up this idea that he wasn't like a real Norwegian kid. It's like, you need to know this. You can't get away in this country without knowing all this shit. Like, yeah, you're Canadian, but we're gonna fucking make you Norwegian. Like, you know.
It's also just like, is he comparing him to his like real family? Is that like his real son's test? He's comparing. It was just like, whose test was that?
And what were they doing? Like, are they ice farmers? Why were they isolated? Like, because when he left, it seemed like I won't come back to give you gas.
But then, she has a car.
Oh, yeah.
Like at
And
first
you're
I was
right.
like, oh, they're prisoners out here, and he's a homeschool kid, and it's a sex
Room.
sex dungeon.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh shit, she's got a Volvo.
Yeah. Living large.
And then he's like loyal to red Volvos
This was a nationalist movie a little bit.
because
Like,
his mom died in one. He's
Yeah.
like, I guess
But by
I
the-
drive a red Volvo for
Yeah.
now.
By the way,
a great
it was
art
the-
director.
It was the same Volvo because you can commit suicide in those. You clean them right up. They get
That's
right back
right.
on the road. They're great. They're not gonna. Yeah, that's a
They
good
don't lose
car.
their resale.
they just got to
Yeah.
dry
Yeah,
out.
it's a great resale value. All right, here we go. Here we go.
Mackenzie.
Right.
All right. I was wondering if any of you noticed the opening car chase scene, how it's obviously toy cars on a...
Yeah, okay, this is so crazy you say that because I wrote down, is this a toy car? And I was like, haha, that can't be that. And now that you say it, did anyone else think that?
I didn't see that. No, I believe.
Oh, they can't drive on snow. So it was toy cars because they did like a shot of it. And I was like,
So it was a Power Wheel.
Like rewatch that scene. I wish I had that, but it's
I
like,
will not. Thank you.
Great
Here's
point.
what I can guarantee: I will not rewatch
Ever.
any of this.
I truly, I feel like I would be meeting royalty, or I don't even know, like a four-leaf clover. If I ever met someone who saw this movie twice, it would shock
The
the
idea
shit out
that
of
they
me.
did not shoot 15 to 20% and it's 2 hours long.
They didn't
is
shoot 15.
insanity.
They didn't shoot 15 to 20%, but yet there's a guy in a shed with like a little power car, just like okay, yep, we got it. Okay, here we go. Your name and your question.
Marshall.
Great.
I thought it was hilarious when they were in the hockey game for Oleg, and she was like, "How did you remember to be here?" And he like put his sleeve up, and his arm just said Oleg.
He mementoed his wife, but even his memento was vague. Boy. Hockey game, 4:00. Got it. That's amazing. Great.
What was the thing that he used to decapitate people? That's a new thing, right?
That's like I feel like it was a doctor's thing.
Yeah.
Oh, just when doctors take your heads off?
Yeah.
You know that they wanted that to be like that Anton Chigurh. Like, you're like,
absolutely,
oh, that's our
yeah.
fucking thing, man.
And also there was like the whole section where he was like click, 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 click. And wrong answer. Click, 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 click. Oh, actually, right answer. Click, 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 click. I was like, what the fuck is this? What, like, version?
Also-
How does this end in jeopardy for Norway?
Yeah.
What I liked about the instrument when you finally see it used against Chloe Sevigny is that like it goes around. It's like it's not super quick. It's like pop. Like it's like it's a patient. It's a patient killing.
No,
machine.
it's like a singer sewing machine. It was like a bedazzler. It was such a confusing.
I bet you that he didn't always kill people like that, and then like the test audience is like more of that crazy tool because like it may have been like bear traps. Like Chloe Sevigny fell in like 3 bear traps, and that's how she got decapitated. Like I bet you they're like more of that cool killing machine.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, the whole time the director was just like, how would no one die? Let's invent a contraption.
Yeah, let's invent.
Yeah.
Twist ties. All right. Yes. Christopher. Great.
So just looking up Wikipedia, looking at like the weird production chaos they had. If this was successful, where could they have taken this as a series? Because they killed off Rebecca Ferguson's character, and just like when they're translating the books here in America, they started in the middle of the series. So they started right when he actually did work in Oslo, but then he started.
This movie would be the equivalent of like jumping into not Avengers Infinity War, but Avengers Endgame. Like you're like, start off there. If you start off at Endgame, you're totally caught up. Because it is. It's like these only wrote 3 books after, but these books have been out there from '97. I guess it's just every book is a murder, but
not knowing this series, is each book a case? Is it a procedural? Is it like Wallander or something?
Oh, okay, here we go. Does someone know? Do you know? Joe Nesbo fan? Okay.
Oh, here we go, Paul. This person's
yes, you are
a
Joe
Nesbo file.
Nesbo head.
She's from the island of Nesbos.
Stella. I have to give a fake name because I worked on this movie. So.
Jackpot! Were you?
What's the song?
Okay, Stella.
Beep, 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 beep. Stella is wearing a full painter's costume right now. Has a tattoo on her neck. Anyway, what do you know about this movie?
Couple backstory facts about the script originally. Why he's so distraught and like sleeping in a playground is that they were building this backstory that he had like accidentally like shot a kid on like a previous case.
Do you know how many? Wait.
Reginald Vell Johnson, Die Hard backstory.
And and a sketch at UCB once every 6 months.
One of the issues they had early on in
Wait, hold on for a second. So he shot a kid and then goes like, I gotta sleep near kids?
Yeah.
With a gun?
So this man shot a kid. Well, what's a good thing for him to do? Go look at school children all day.
I'll be honest. The casualness with which he almost shoots the gas spraying man, doesn't surprise me that he almost shot that he shot a kid.
Well, we don't know what a kid had done to him. So
was the kid
self-defense?
Was the kid a serial killer in Norway?
All right. So that's the backstory they never really got to.
Okay, so originally the mom character of the murderer was having an affair with a policeman who had a completely other family, and he refused to kind of like leave his family for her, and so decides she like goes crazy and kills herself, has the same kind of catatonic through the ice. And then there's a scene towards the end of the movie where you see you now realize that little boy's the murderer, and he's just standing through the window, beginning of the long window peering, looking at the cop with his other family at Christmas, having the life he never got to have.
Oh, that's much better.
But, okay, we then had story issues for the reasons why he started targeting single mothers. Because in theory, you think he would then be targeting cops.
Oh.
But so why did the book target cops? And then they were like, no, women deserve to die.
Can you speak to the bear trap?
Yes. Bear trap was always in the script. Okay. It was this horrific accident. It's just like a happenstance. She's like in the wilderness.
What?
Steps in a bear trap.
This movie had a random bear trap? Thanks a lot, Norway.
There was never a twin from what I remember.
I knew it.
was a reshoot, yeah.
Why? Why have that?
Why any of it?
Why have that in there?
Honestly.
I left to go work. I left.
Yeah.
Tell us.
So you may have left at a certain point where you can't answer any more questions. But can I ask you another question? Did the house explode in one version?
Okay, so originally he thinks his family, he thinks Charlotte Gainsbourg and it's supposed to be his son, like estranged, like they're estranged, and their relationship had fallen apart because he became an alcoholic after like shooting this kid. God. And so I think, if I remember this correctly, he thinks his son and wife are burning alive in this house. And then it's then revealed, which didn't make any sense, that they're really on the ice. And he has to choose between saving his family or getting the murderer.
Like, not a hard choice.
Obviously.
But it's Harry Hole, man. Harry Hole always gets the
murderer. You're like, what kind of hell did I create marrying this woman and having this child?
Yes, let me solve a case and be a man.
Yeah.
Then my final question to you is, was the end always the guy just, the ice broke under him and fell in?
Yes.
It is
By the way,
it is such an unsatisfying way to see someone die to full fucking Titanic Jack style fall into the abyss.
Because it's also illustrative of the fact that Michael Fassbender did nothing to succeed.
Nothing.
It's a happy accident
doesn't deserve it.
that
Just
he
lucky.
survives.
Just lucky.
He's like, your father, you should have been mad at your father. And he's like, oh, you're going to get it. Oh. What? Fassbender should die.
Honestly.
Everybody should die.
Fassbender should have looked to camera after that guy died and just looked at us and been like, just lucky, I guess.
Yeah. Like, and that's a line at the end of every movie.
Yes.
Because every movie he does a terrible job. Multiple people get killed on his watch, and he's like, oopsie magoopsie.
That's his.
I guess I did it again. Me and my giant dick didn't solve the case. We didn't solve the case, but the murderer
But he got
in the
dry
ice on
humped
their
twice.
own.
Always getting dry humped. All right, so wait, what were you? Yeah.
One last, the Rebecca Ferguson. So originally it was supposed to be Brad Pitt and Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh.
And I
Classic
believe
Norwegian actors.
And I believe the reason why what eventually became the Rebecca Ferguson character was murdered was to allow Jennifer Lawrence an out in the franchise. She didn't want to do another franchise.
Now then, my only final question is.
And they didn't change it when they knew it wasn't going to be Jennifer Lawrence. They're like, sorry, actress who sometimes gets work.
But by the
We're
way,
not
it's
gonna
like
build
cut
you
off her
into this
finger,
series.
just keep her alive, like, and make them both miss fingers, and then
There's
that's
then there are these twins. Yeah.
Did
They
Val,
can like touch stumps.
Yeah. Did
Hey, good job.
did Val Kilmer's part was it meatier in the script, or was that kind of
Was he the first choice? Because it sounds like he was very ill. It's just so crazy that he did it.
I don't know who originally they intended for that, but there was this whole long, like, kind of metaphor building to the end where they would have with like Detective Harry Hole and like when it being
Please don't say that like it's fucking.
Can we just agree to never say Detective Harry Hole again?
Don't give him any legitimacy.
And was there no conversation about that?
It was not in the script, and it wasn't until it was too late. So
wasn't it in the script? It was just like
it was in the book.
It just like was a decision that was like I think made on the fly at the end. But so there was like I remember there being scenes where they would be ice fishing, and there was all these like deep conversations in like ice fishing huts between the two, and like so the hole in the ice and the hole at the end was all supposed to like.
Oh, I kind of like that actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
like he knew where the hole in the ice was because he had like.
had a Harry hole.
That's his thing. He knows where all the holes are.
Plot hole.
Then if that's the thing, put Shia LaBeouf in this and let's call it a
That's
day.
right. Yes.
Thank you so much. Well, holy shit.
Yeah.
That was
What are we
like
doing?
that was like Christmas. Wow.
I've never been so
Thank you.
angry.
Thank you so much. Wow. And by the way, every answer more fulfilling than the last.
Truly. Yeah.
This is great. Well, obviously we know a lot about this movie. We have opinions about it, but now it's time for second opinions.
Second opinions, they are always to be found with shitty taste and the internet and 5 stars to throw around. Second opinions for the Snowman flick, they say he was made of snow, but the viewers know that this movie's not okay. There must have been some magic in that movie listing they found, for when they watched this travesty, they began to come unbound. Second opinions, they are always to be found with shitty taste and the internet and 5 stars to throw around.
Give it up. That was amazing.
Amazing.
Great work.
And Snowman appropriate.
Great work.
It is now time for second opinion.
1 is the number of opinions that you'd usually have. But 2 opinions might be had when we're looking at movies that are supposedly bad. No stars for Fassbender's Snowman will just never do. Because yes, it's a 5-star experience, like Look Who's Talking To. Yes, 1's the number of opinions that we usually have. But a second opinion must be had if we're talking about BMX Classic Rad. I'm not the same since Tom Selleck and Runaway. So I just spend my time writing reviews online that'll end up on How Did This Get Made? It's time for a second opinion, time for a second opinion, time for a second opinion Amazon review.
Great work.
That was amazing. These are 5-star reviews called from Amazon. The total of 395 reviews for the film. 20% are 5 stars. And
Same with the amount of movie that they needed to
yeah, that's
do.
right. And I would say that all of the positive reviews feel like they are from the actual Snowman Killer. And I will start with this one from Linda Margalit. She writes, Norway in winter, through steely blue filtered light, the quietness, the indifferent planet, all so well choreographed, around the pulse of bloodless murders. I was enthralled. 5 stars.
I'm telling you, Mary Oliver may have left us, but Linda, whoever that is.
Linda Manigault.
Yes.
Is that like a Norwegian person?
I mean, it feels like it. I mean, that was better writing than the letters the Snowman left.
I hope that woman took 4 or 5 days thinking like, what can I write? And then came out with that.
This one is from David May and
Theresa May's husband?
Yes. This one
He's
is
like, my wife's so consumed with Brexit, I'm just here watching movies. And boy, did I find a good one. Fassbender, you did it again. I thought you blew it with Assassin's Creed, but you're back in action.
So David May simply writes this: most excellent book, 5 stars. And it's not from the book one, it is from the movie. Like, so he went on the Prime Video, so he was not confused. This one, all right, I'll just read this. Okay, this is great. This is from RH, and it is written like this. This is a movie you should watch 2 to 3 times to get, in quotes, the nuance.
Hard pass.
Yeah.
RH is a moron.
It makes you pay attention and has a slow build and such. I liked it much compared to most of today's blah movies that need no attention. This was great. Okay, sure. 2 to 3 times is probably not the... Like, yeah, that's not the goal. Like, it's like, oh, it was a great murder mystery.
Also,
the
like,
3rd time, I really got it.
Totally. Also, just like trust yourself. If you didn't get a movie, maybe it's the movie's fault.
Well, the thing
I will
about
keep
movies
on
like
watching.
this is the enjoyment as the audience of trying to piece the mystery together beforehand, or trying to piece the mystery, trying to feel like you have the pieces from which the story can be understood if you can just piece them together. And this movie doesn't do that at all, and that's deeply frustrating, you know? So even if you watched it 2 to 3 times, I don't think you'd have any more enjoyment or clarity. You would just know the arbitrary ending that the movie is like, oh, guess what? This guy did it. Big whoop.
If you put a knife necklace around my neck, I would not watch this movie more than once.
Yeah.
Sucked.
Or whatever
Saw
that is.
style. Oh, that.
If you put an electronic knife necklace, which I am sure is what it's called, around my neck, I would not watch this more than once.
EKN?
Yeah. As the doctors call it.
Oh, yeah.
This is written by L. White.
Oh, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Sorry. Why was the woman who built the VCR recording devices obviously American?
Obviously American.
She was the
She's
only
bringing American tech. Futuristic American tech.
She was like, subsurfers.
Yeah.
Here's the deal.
She's like, this is what... I was like, I don't understand. Everybody's American or British in this movie.
Yeah.
And she's like, everybody... Is she also supposed to be Norwegian? Sorry, go ahead, Paul.
All right, this is written by L. White.
The author of Charlotte's Web?
Yes. E.B.
Oh, right.
This is, it's called Betrayal and Betrayed. Get ready. Didn't care for the killings, but I thought back to Jesus' day where King Herod killed under 1-year-old baby boys, and how Jesus was betrayed.
Passover?
And how Jesus was betrayed by Judas. Samson and Delilah, they were betrayed too. The Snowman betrayed a lot of people. And killing them silently. One man figured it out and who he was, and the Snowman tried to kill him. But he drowned when he stepped on the thin ice and fell in. Back to the memory of killing an innocent man that went to the cross. Jesus. 5 stars.
That person...
I want it all on a shirt.
That person put on a MAGA hat and went out and harassed a Native American yesterday.
That
did.
person watched that movie with his kids, tucked them in, and was like, so listen, what we can learn from that.
Here's the thing. That person might be the only person who understands this movie. I'll be honest,
demographic.
that is, as far as I'm concerned, potentially a valid reading.
It makes just as much sense as anything else.
How confounding this movie is that adds up.
I'm going to start saying that. What's it about? It's about Passover.
Yes.
It's about Samson and Delilah. It's about Jesus. It's about the Passion. It's Old Testament, New Testament. What don't you get?
It might be. I'm on board for that as maybe it's a Christian allegory. I don't know. Nesbo can tell us.
I don't Nesbo. Doing it.
Boo.
After midnight
Boo.
is when my good jokes come out. Yeah.
By the way, we haven't read any of these letters yet.
Oh, yeah. Well, by the way, here's a couple facts.
They're so dumb.
Yes. Well, I mean, yeah, this is Mr. Police. You could really freeze to death that way. While you were lying there, I was watching Mummy. By the time you read this, I will have built her a picture.
By the way, I believe that a snowman wrote that.
This is a little bit of for just maybe people who saw the earlier show and this show, but very strange that both of these movies tonight, Harry and Meghan and this one, have written versions of the word mummy in them.
That is, and that the lead characters are named Harry.
Yes. What does that say?
By the way, that's the connection. That's how deep these shows roll.
Yes.
That's right. Couple things
Prince
about the
Harry is Harry Hole.
So Meghan Markle is the Snowman killer.
Did you laugh so hard when they revealed that?
No, I never laughed hard.
When they revealed the medicine label and it just said Harry Hole, and I was just like on the fucking floor.
Oh, it worked. It worked every single time. Every time you saw Harry Hole, I mean, here it is, right here. Here's the
It's not Hole, Harry. It's Harry Hole.
How about when?
I truly feel, yeah.
But that's how it works in Norway. How about when the police library is dead silent, Harry Hole's phone rings, Rebecca Ferguson, everybody looks around like, I don't know. Rebecca Ferguson answers it, and they're like, Harry Hole? And she's like, well, this is his phone. And they're like, oh, well, is he there? No, but I can take a message. Okay, let me give you confidential police information.
Case numbers.
The person who picked up the phone that was ringing. So this is in relation to case number, whatever. Here, let me give you the address where this phone is being. What? That can't be right.
Norway. They got back to their ping pong games at the police department.
That's right.
Bigger things. This movie came out in 2017, October 20th. It got an 8% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oof.
The budget was $35 million. The opening weekend was $3. It made in the United States $6 million. But worldwide gross, $43 million.
Norway went again and
Yeah.
again and again.
Wow.
The entire population showed
But
out
that's still
10
a
times
loss.
for this movie.
I mean,
It's still a loss.
After P&A,
but I
that's
just
gotta be a
I
loss.
saw the 35 million. I mean, like
Yo,
I.
that's a movie. Yeah.
Oh, and it's got movie stars in it. It's beautifully shot.
Yeah.
It's got big. It's big. It feels like a big movie.
Just nothing.
There's
No.
snowman heads on people. There's people head on snowmen.
Just the number of times they had to build a dummy that looked like half of a famous actor's
That's right.
head.
I love a centaur story. I really liked it.
It came in 140 out of all the movies made in 2017. It was beaten by films that we've done on this podcast: Fate of the Furious, Return of Xander Cage, Valerian and the City of a Thousand
I
Planets.
loved Valerian.
Oh, it's one of the most visually interesting movies. Yeah, Geostorm and The Disaster Artist. Those are all the ones that it beat. And here's the taglines, which are great. Soon, this first snow will come, and then he will kill again. But to your point,
Wait a second.
He
that
only kills when it
grammatically-
snows.
Grammatically, you're saying that the snow comes and kills.
soon the first snow will come, and then he will kill again.
It is only interesting that the serial killer kills every snow if you live in Aruba.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like, to live in Norway and be like, he kills every time it snows, it's like, well, then we can't sleep.
And by the way, it didn't feel to me like, because it was snowy all the time, that like that was any different. It wasn't like, oh, it's snowing, I'm nervous. Like, oh, it just seems like that's the weather. The
All right.
weather
So
is snow.
yeah, that's what we do.
Then the second tagline was, soon the first snow will fall, and then the hunt for a killer begins.
Jesus.
That's a confusing one.
Here's the
because
thing.
that's like, oh, well, didn't you just tell me the other way was?
If
you're
you
hunting
can't come
before
up with
it
a
happens?
tagline, don't put the movie out.
And the final tagline is, Mr. Police, you could have saved her.
Right.
I gave you all the clues.
And
that
that's
was-
why no one in America saw it, because everyone saw that and was like, what the fuck is this?
Like,
Are these shenanigans?
Literally, a better tagline for that movie just would have been like, "You ready?" Like anything would have been better.
Or
How
like,
about this? Just a
Snowman,
picture.
Snowman, it's a movie?
Yeah.
Or
What's happening?
how about like just a snowman, that image, and go like, I killed her.
Yeah.
Like that would have been like, whoa, what's that?
Yep.
Like if you wanted to make it scary, or I did it. Just I did it. Just
Totally.
Snowman, I did.
What
Yeah.
about Detective Harry Hole bones another one?
Yeah.
Dry Hump, the movie.
Yep.
How about like Norway, where serial killers win? In Norway, ineffective police,
Yeah.
killers foiled by ice. Norway, ice 1, police 0. Killer 7. What is this? This is a terrible movie.
So, in talking about this movie, it's one of those rare movies that I feel like we could still continue to talk about, but I'm going to just ask, Jason, would you recommend this movie?
Paul, no. Paul, I don't know how to more emphatically say no. People shouldn't watch this movie. It's not good. And it's 2 hours long.
It's a
It is
chunky one.
unsatisfying, unsuccessful, infuriating, and I wrote so many times, what is this? What's going on? Where's Val Kilmer? Why? Who is doing Val Kilmer's voice? Why? Nothing made sense. It's awful. I implore you, don't watch this movie.
Erin?
If someone has an electric knife necklace around your neck, let them murder you before you watch this.
Brian?
It really made me hate art. Like, it really made me think like I'm no longer interested in Kieslowski and going to see Cold War at the ArcLight. I'm done. I've had it. It was so boring and it was so stupid and it was beautiful, but it really just made me think like, you know what? I'm so proud that Scandinavia has all of their social issues figured the fuck out. Keep it there. I don't want anything to do with your Nordic bullshit.
I am not going to fall in line with this peer pressure.
Wow.
I am going to say to me, this is the most fascinating type of movie when it's $35 million, produced by Martin Scorsese, edited by the editor of Raging Bull, with Michael Fassbender, all these amazing people. Rebecca Ferguson is awesome. And then you get this. And that, to me, sometimes is like that movie Green Lantern, it's like, let's sit down. Let's look at this and go, no one raised their hand at any point.
You're right in that
like,
sense. Yeah,
it's crazy. Like, this is on par with like a movie that your friend is like, I made this movie, you should come watch it. And you're like, I didn't know you made movies. I thought you repaired refrigerators. But it's always my dream to make a movie.
You're right. Everyone involved in this movie is a master at what they do.
And it's like, and I think what I think is amazing about it is, even when you're really good, you can take a hot deuce and fucking shit all over.
Right.
It's like, yes, don't feel so bad. These guys, they fucked it up. Martin Scorsese is like, he's a fucking film expert.
And he fucked up.
He couldn't even figure out how to make a fucking thing make sense from A to B to C.
I would love to see the documentary about how this went off the rails more than the movie itself.
Absolutely.
If that makes sense.
I would have just paid to watch Martin Scorsese giving notes on the first pass.
You know what would be a better movie is a 2-hour filmed interview where somebody just says to Michael Fassbender, "What happened?" And he doesn't stop talking for 2 hours.
But don't you also feel like this is a movie where rarely, where Michael Fassbender like, no, it's my best work.
Oh, for sure, because Michael Fassbender, if you were to be like, what are your top films that you've made? He'd be like, oh, God, it's hard to choose. Prometheus, Macbeth, Assassin's Creed, this. The list goes on and on. And it's a list of the worst
I'm
movies.
dangerously close to thinking he's a terrible actor.
I know.
But by the way,
because of these choices.
I know,
at this
the
point.
worst choices.
Well, let's look at this. Michael Fassbender clearly is on track to be like the biggest he's Sam Jacksoning it. Like every movie that he's doing, like Alien was like, okay, that's going to be a fucking giant
franchise.
trilogy.
Yes.
This can be
X-Men.
franchise. Franchise. Like Assassin's Creed franchise. He's only picking franchise movies. Like
Super Mario
none
Brothers.
of them work. I mean, but isn't that kind of crazy? Because you think of him as like Michael Fassbender, he's going to be like, but no.
Put him in a Fast and the Furious, and then they'll stop making them.
By the way,
just kills franchises.
I know you're saying that as a joke, but I am begging
not.
people to put Michael Fassbender in the Fast and Furious
Yeah,
movies.
because then they can say Fassbender in the Furious.
I love it.
I want to be in the art department on this movie, mainlining mescaline, printing out this label over and over again. hairy hole on my tiny
Also,
printer.
it is absolutely
I love that you're
unacceptable that it was
mainlining
I like
mescaline.
whatever drugs.
Like
need-
you're Hunter S. Thompson.
I know.
How are you going to get through this?
Development, it is inexcusable that no one knew the name of the lead character until it was too late.
That's on you.
I'm gonna say
That's on you. You did this to us. I know you helped us and told us stuff, but also you
Inexcusable.
did this to us.
Oh, but you know what? Here's a good reason to watch this movie. So I was watching this at home with my husband and dog, bragging. And I said, guess what this detective's name is? And then he guessed Harry, and then I was like, but guess the last 40 minutes later, he was having the time of his life.
What do you guys got going on? Tell us what you guys have going on.
Well, we do the podcast. We do Throwing Shade every week. I'm on this season of, you don't watch it, but I'm on this season of 911 on Fox, if you do watch it.
Whoa!
Yeah, so you can watch that.
Are you an operator?
I am the 911 call center boss. So it's so crazy that I'm on a draw. All I do is I go like, she's where? We'll be right there. We're sending someone now. That's like,
that was really good.
no, that's all. And I'm just
love
like,
that.
okay, just stay on
And
the phone
so
with the
a 911 call center is
Yeah.
part of a police department. So does it look like a classy library?
It does.
And
Pool
when
tables, ping pongs, globes, the
when the
works.
phone rings, do you guys all freak out? Like, ooh.
Yeah, the phone rings and I'm like, God damn it! Shut that off!
I love that you're on
Gunther, are you
911.
going to answer that? That's exciting.
Yeah, it's a fun
Who
show.
do you get to interact with?
It's mostly me and Jennifer Love Hewitt who work in the call center. So I play her boss. She's
I
great.
love this.
Yeah.
This is great.
She's
Does
very
she
cool.
whisper to ghosts?
She does not. I mostly just like walk by her and I'm like, good job.
Does the majority of it take place in the call center? or-
No, it's one of those shows that has like 5 storylines.
Okay.
So our storyline is in the call center, but like Angela Bassett's the chief of police, and then
Okay.
Peter Krause is like a fireman, and so it follows all these stories, which is great for an actor because you only shoot your story.
Yeah, and then
You know?
that's all. Is
Yeah.
Connie Britton still in it?
She is not.
Okay.
Paul's not interested.
No, I don't know anything. I wasn't on the first season.
Paul's like,
no, there's no story
I'll
there.
watch Dirty John.
There's
then.
There's no story there. I think
oh.
she just did it for a year. Yeah. Yeah.
It felt like
What if I was like, she's
there
not?
was
and
a
yes,
falling
you did
out,
that.
and she is
No, she's
Connie
sending
Britton
your
knew how to
deal.
pick up a
What
phone.
if we tuned in and you were dressed like Connie Britton in the show?
She's not. Yeah. No, she was just only on it for the first year or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing weird there.
But Bonnie Kitten is.
Yeah. She's got wavy black hair. She's the
This
evil
is her
genie.
Chris Gaines?
That's right.
Like, is there Garth Brooks?
That's right. That's the whole show is about a 911 operator who gets in disguises for being on the phone.
She comes in as
goes
her
all in. Like, she's
She
like,
goes all
I found
in.
this actress. She's a,
Yeah. She's like, 911, what's your emergency?
Just like Chris Gaines.
Yes. Classic. She does the
Classic
mark.
Chris
She does
Gaines.
classic Chris Gaines. Really, the show's about Garth Brooks at the end of the day. So
Aren't they all?
every show is.
Isn't every show now about Garth Brooks?
I was watching Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and I thought, if this isn't the album Shameless by Garth Brooks, I don't know what is.
Just like, especially those Catskills episodes.
Oh my God! I'll tell you.
And all the hats. Thanks again, Amy Sherman Palladino,
Jesus.
for drowning us in hats.
Well, Garth loves a hat too. They really, they have more in common than you think.
Are they the
I'm
same
looking
person? Garth Brooks wrote every episode of Gilmore
Marvelous
Girls.
Mrs. Maisel of Gilmore Girls. Yeah.
Aaron, what do you got going on?
I wrote a book called Feminasty, and it's still out. Thanks. Yeah, Complicated Woman's Guide to Surviving the Patriarchy Without Drinking Yourself to Death. You can get it on hardback. It's not out in softback yet. That's not
So
what they
it's
call
on
it.
Amazon right now.
Softback.
If
Amazon
I wanted
right
to
now.
go to Amazon right now and look up Erin Gibson,
You would just go right to my book.
Boom.
And by the way, you all missed out because my aunt wrote a really scathing review of my
did?
book. Yes.
What?
I don't know if we can put this in podcast or not, but
Dee Dee?
no, my aunt Denise. And guess what? Dumb bitch. Her user.
And Denise, could she be any other way?
I was like, who wrote this review? And the username said. was like, your name is your username? She was like, here's what she was mad about, because I call myself an Irish Catholic street rat in it. And she was like, we're not Irish, we're Welsh. And I was like, okay, that was 17 paragraphs. And the best part about it was at the end, some stranger wrote, calm down, dude. So
that's
my only 1-star review. Check it out.
Well,
was from your aunt?
I'm so proud of that.
That's amazing.
And sometimes we give away codes, to do Audible and stuff. And you did your own book reading, right?
Yeah, it's all me.
So,
yeah.
you can get it on the Audible.
So get it on an audiobook, and you can hear you reading the book to me as I sit alone in bed at night.
Yeah, screaming at you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Jason.
What
do you got?
The Long Dumb Road is available on all streaming platforms. Please rent and or buy it. I would love it if you did. I don't know when this is coming out, but watch The Good Place or watch Nailed It or any of that fun stuff. Those are all great shows that I eventually pop up on sometimes.
I will say definitely check out our friend's show. Andrew Savage does a show called I'm Sorry on True TV. I'm on that, and then Jason, you're on that a little bit, and June's on that. Super great. Grace and Frankie, new season's out. And Black Monday right now is on Showtime, airing Sundays at 10 o'clock. So definitely check those out. Those are my plugs. Thank you all for coming. A big thank you to Averill Halley for combing through all of that footage, finding all that trailer stuff. Amazing. Nate Kiley with the research. July up in the booth. Cody, who helps produce the show. Kelly Alto. Everybody who's come out here tonight. Bryan and Erin and their amazing podcast, Throwing Shade. Definitely listen to that. And thank you to all of you. This is a big, long show, so thank you. Good night.
Woo.